You will do no such thing with my toes control. How's everybody doing? Good to see all you. Sorry for being late. I figured better a late and probably short stream than no stream. Consistency and all that. Getting your money's worth, as it were. How we doing, Super? Jaybridge, Control, Kitty, anyone else who might be lurking about. I don't really have any particular plans for content today. I happened to scroll through my character list for 20 seconds after I clicked go live, or right before actually, and I was like, I haven't played Zane on stream in a bit, so we'll do that. We'll do that as the warm up for today, and then probably back to some speedrunning. Some quag over the quagless. That's truly quagless behavior. Zane or goth Elon Musk from an alternate timeline. Well, now I'm gonna have to change it. Now I'm gonna have to change it. Grenades are like stream chats, nigh unusable without mods, the loading screen says. As I get bullied by moderators. Alright, let's see. Looking for a Zane head that I haven't used in a while. We could be Bondage 0, I guess. Yeah, we'll be Bondage 0. Alright, so which version of Remote Ranger was this? I have like several Remote Ranger saves. This is not the Sheer Will one. Okay, yeah, I know what this is. Engineer. What do I have that on? Oh, I was testing. Right. I guess I put that on, and we just go like this. We just do it like this. It's been so long since I played this build. Let's do Mal one. Choose to interpret that as a dig at grenade jumpers. It is interesting. Like, it's one of those ongoing things that never stops. Even people who have been like shown how powerful grenades are in BL3, at some level there's just a choice to not agree in the face of it being a thing. It's wild. I need to put a skin on this. Yeah. Now we're stylish. Took a while for the music to kick in there. Good job, clone. Zane has to shoot guns, by the way. Did I turn on EchoCast? Nah, let me do that. This is one of the extremely few cases where I would actually recommend a See Undead class mod. Never understand the attitude that things are only good if they require zero investment or perform at a high level. Well, that attitude isn't that attitude at all, Jaybridge. That's the thing. It's a deflection. It comes from people not wanting to admit that they simply didn't think of something, or that they had an inaccurate take on the viability of a thing. So they're like, no, actually, it's still bad, because you gotta do this thing I didn't think of. Hey, Pocat. Go free radical. So one of the very few things that keeps me invested in playing clone is choosing the correct weapons for the correct situation on clone is a very satisfying thing. Hey son. More sleep. I went to bed at like 4:30. Mr. Sean, how you doing? Hey, Vocal. Doing Zane runs today? Probably not. Just because the Zane builds I like to play, such as this one, are not gonna be as competitive as two specific build types that I don't enjoy playing. Like, if I wanted to get a very high placement on the boards at this point, it would require me doing either a Creamer, Globetrotter, or Lucky 7. And I don't really want to do any of those things. I suppose Yellow Cake could do it. I could be weird and just do it with a Yellow Cake, but eh. This build did hold a bunch of Zane records at the same time for a while. And it's still in the top 5 in every proving ground in Circle of Slaughter, so I'm cool with that. This was originally done just as a showcase to prove that Zane players aren't creative, and I think I proved that point. Because this build outclears any traditional gun Zane build you can possibly think of. The only Zane stuff that gets faster than this is Lucky 7, Anarchy, Hustler Eraser, and a pure launcher build. If you're talking pew pew with a light show or Herald or whatever the fuck, this is faster. Unless Sentinel gets stuck somewhere. Sentinel's here. Cool. Okay, that shows that Sandhog is ×8. Yeah, it dynamically updates for playing dirty, which has always been interesting. It also updates for the Dictator and Monarch's bipods. Super, it's pretty cool. AM or PM? AM, Jaybridge. like saying he's funny Irish man. He is that. We let our pets do the work. Just jumping the attacks and swapping clone into place is funny. Come on, Sentinel, you can do it. Oh, no, you expired. Okay, I got this. Never mind, it doesn't stay in my spark lung long enough. Thank you, clone. You tell me it's my faster than shoddy fake of Zane? Yes. Borderlands 3 is not a gun game. I could play this build without a class mod and a shield and still outclear gun builds. It being sick? Yeah, I feel you. It is not ideal. Not ideal. So, obvious other weapons that are good on clone here. We've got a lot of them. Plasma Coil, Anarchy, Hive, although this one's risky, self-damage. Boogeyman's quite good on clone. Breath of the Dying, again, on the risky side. Ember's Purge against grounded targets. And then lots of shields and grenades. Because experimentation. Some content, Hot Drop, is superior to Sparkplug. So we run that where relevant as well. I was thinking about putting an Ice Spiker on this for Hemo, but that seems cursed. Hey, Nunu. About to ask why you're using a Heartbreaker. We got him. Let's see. Did a run with Sandhawk. Do we do one with Breath of the Dying? Let's do that. Do Breath of the Dying. So, Digiclone builds are interesting to me because you control his gun, his shield, his grenade, and his exact location. You get a lot of control. And you can give clone quite a good formula if you were to say, give him an old god matching the elements of the gun you have him shooting. You can give him an Om-Nom, and then the circle will break where he's standing, but if you're standing in one, he'll get that one too. You can make Digiclone do some crazy amounts of damage with very little investment, and it's always enjoyable to do so. Because you can be doing stuff at the same time. That's what makes it interesting. Basically a co-op partner who doesn't steal your loot. Yeah. As Quaggity's obviously suffering. I'm not suffering that much. I could X, but that seems cursed. Famous last words. True. Hey Sora, how you doing? I'm kind of tempted to go through the weapons list. Let's look at Loot Lemon real quick to see if we can get any sudden inspiration with weapons. Stuff I might not have thought of for clone. I do this every time I play Zane because this is one of the only things about Zane that's interesting to me, but I figured I'd still do it. Hey newbie, how are you? Shit, Sora? Oh, I'm sorry to hear. Wait, wider. Wider. Hey, Vince. It's literally running cheat engine, doesn't want to admit it. Finished RE4, had to go replay a section because I missed Blue Medallion and couldn't go back. I'm on my 4th playthrough, Jaybridge. It's such a good game. Soul Render would be fun. Soul Render would be good. It's just the skulls will eventually kill it. That's true of some of the other weapons we already have, but yeah, Soul Render would work out. I wonder how a carrier would do. Unironically, if we gave Clone an Infernal Wish, he might be able to kill things with a carrier. Or, you know, Revolter. Probably serves a purpose just as well. Interesting Metroid Prime Remaster? Yeah, actually. At some point, I do want to try it. Alright, at some point, I do want to, do that on stream, Ember. It's just, finding the time. Convergence on clones, decent. Contain Blast on clone. I don't know that I've ever tried that. Root on clone, lol. They don't ever tried that? It probably doesn't shoot the DNA very well. I don't think I've ever tried Flacker clone. That seems fun. No PPU? I already have that. It's equipped. Flacker clone is dead clone. Nah, he'll be fine. He'll be okay. Giving Moxie weapons to clone is also funny because it does survive. So like Heartbreaker, Hail, Crit all work out fairly well. Give it a Cryo Old God and a Hydra Frost. It's maybe funny. I just remembered the Iceberger exists. We gotta try that on Flak at some point. I've been meaning to do that, but I keep forgetting that I've been meaning to do that. I've never given Clone a laser sploder. He probably sucks with it, but I'm curious. I'm also curious about Lead Sprinkler. We're gonna try a bunch of weird shit. Iceberger, there's so many guns in this game. Iceberger is a better laser sploder for what it's worth. You ever give Clone a crossbow? Masterwork crossbow? Clone Mongol's probably pretty good. But I'd want to give him a red suit, I think. Hey, Pup T. Could do OPQ if I give him a Transformer. The thing is, taking anything that doesn't help Sentinel makes your damage lopsided. Revolter's nice because it helps the player, the Sentinel, and the clone. Because clone gets his own. Old God also works for that. Super Soldier would be an example of something that helps out clone, but nothing else really. I get movement speed and a little emergency tank, but doesn't help my output or Sentinel at all. I've never given clone a Quatomizer, but that's definitely not good. Would clone even shoot a Rhino properly? Probably not. Nice, unique from the Beans mission, Obsidian. Recursion, slow hand. Recursion clone just won't shoot too well. Slow hand, I've tried. Slow hand works. It's just it's awkward because he'll direct impact enemies. Clone aims center mass pretty much. So like, yeah, it's awkward. Clone would probably get a lot of headshots with a sledge shotgun because of the recoil. I'm sure Clone Torrent is good. Shredifire, eh. It's a weapon that requires spinning up, which is already a disadvantage. And it's just worse than other bullet hoses. Like, even for Vladoff damage profiles, Super Shred isn't good. Troubleshooter, again, not enough damage there. Interestingly, with Troubleshooter, it would be like get around one of the main things with Clone where you can't change his gun to match the element appropriate to the situation. So maybe for like Proving Grounds, Troubleshooter could end up being good. Honestly. Amoongus? That's a Pokemon. Oh, I just remembered. I was gonna do some Septimator Prime stuff. It's probably okay with Serial Killer too, huh? Web Slinger? Maybe. Web Slinger's, like, decent. So, Serial Killer is one of those guns that if it had gotten a 2.0 buff, it would have been as present in the game as the No Pew Pew, if not more. Because its effect is really good. You just get 100% gun damage per stack. And some fire rate. Up to 3 stacks. So kill 3 enemies and you're just doing great damage. But the unfortunate thing is it just doesn't have the base damage to be like super good. Maybe on Clone it'd be okay. Yeah, Clone won't use the Septimator's Underbarrel. Although the meteor happens just from the main fire too. You know what? Let's get weird with this. I want to try Septimator Prime first. We open up the max damage spreadsheet. All fire locked COV AR run. Why did COV have to do that? Like, imagine if some of those were element flexible. If Storos Burn, No Pew Pew, and Serial Killer came in other elements, man, ARs as a whole would be looked at differently in this game. Alright, annoying on this truly doesn't matter, so... What do I run on my grenade currently? Damage and fire rate? Alright, I'll run Terra Cryo just so... Alright, so we got Septimator Prime. I'm gonna have to make some inventory space for this. That's gonna be a nightmare. Let's do Serial Killer as well. Are there any specific parts I would want on this thing? Do I want additional projectiles? Is that even an option for this one? Doesn't seem to be. Okay. So we got that and that. Could try Torrent. I doubt it'll outdo Sandhawk though. It'll probably just functionally be a worse Sandhawk. Forgot the Zanhead existed. It's for everyone, Amber. How you doing? Clone Linoge or Skexel? I forgot about Skexel. Oh, we were gonna try lead sprinkler, laser exploder, iceberger, hydrofrost, flacker. Here, let's try these first couple guns because I don't have room for that much. And then we'll go from there. We'll go from there. Does forgot about Skexel too. You know, it's funny for all this buzz about how, you know, the game is about farming. It's about going after dedicated drops. People seem to forget about the dedicated drop only items and never fucking talk about or use any of them. You ever notice that? You hear a lot of Hellwalker, 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 and never Garcia, Sledge's shotgun. You hear a lot of Backburner and not a lot of Hive. Remember doing Kensei Torrent shenanigans for uninstalling last time? It was fun. Gun Go Burr. Kensei Torrent sounds like a good combo. Because you can just dump a lot of shots in that very short window of time. Yeah, Torrent sounds like a really good Kensei gun. Or Miscreant. Miscreant is better than a light show if your name is Mose. Okay, I've not used this gun in probably like 2 years. I think the last time I used the Septimator was in Arms Race with mods on. Actually, a lot of fun, does good damage. Yeah, I used the Miscreant recently. In a fit of light show hatred. I mean, those are Ratch, so that's not really a good indicator, but... He's kind of cooking. He's kind of cooking. Oh, he got himself a grenade. You got me, Sentinel. Thank you. Does the effect on the Septimator only trigger on the alt fire? I'm guessing it only triggers on the alt fire. Here, let me confirm this. I'm sure I know what the effect does. It's another Tiggs boom type thing. Yeah, okay. It's definitely only the alt fire. Should I revisit Febert? No, it's like mechanically interesting, but it's another thing that, you know, Dedi only item that they never buffed. Because remember, the loudest dedicated farmers aren't actually playing the video game to know anything about balance or provide feedback in that department. So Gearbox probably was like, oh yeah, it's fine. Meanwhile, the gun just kind of edges towards unusable by the time you hit like Mayhem 5. Is this serial killer? Yeah. Hey, Urban Mech. Slam it'll ever get buffed? I don't know. Let me look. You gonna kill any of those? No, you're shooting the fire immune guy. That Sentinel's a little slow to the punch. Let me look. It was buffed once, end of 2020. Zane gameplay, by the way. Zane difficult Vault Hunter. Literally tab out and don't go down. With a level 35 shield. It's easy. Yeah, once stacked up, this thing goes crazy. I don't know if I can call it better than no pew pew, just because no pew pew doesn't have this ramp up time and it creates the puddles, which do very significant damage when spawned by the clone. But this is definitely an option. Also, it's a funnier name. I mean, that's subjective. I think they're about even on the haha silly scale. Are you killing things, clone? Kinda. Yeah. At full stacks with Revolter up, it's eaten. But this does push it into territory of like, okay, why not use an Anarchy then? But, you know, that's Anarchy. So Serial Killer is comfortably in an area where it's overshadowed, but still a good clone gun. And before anyone says, well, Anarchy's a DLC item, yeah, it and Serial Killer come from the same place. DLC 2 is where they really started just, like, really forgetting about new items that they introduced in favor of other items in the DLC. Like, remember that time they buffed the Clairvoyance and not the Mutant? Remember that? Like to peek in COV weapon manufacturing facilities and fly on the wall their marketing team meeting where they pitch model names. Mutant did eventually get a buff, but it's still not good. I mean, being a non-elemental gun and being a Jacobs don't really help it. Buff Skullmasher and leave Cocky Bastard behind. Yeah, that's another one trade secret. I'll give you the right gun. Oh, you're in the ground. Yeah, this is Breath of the Dying, by the way. Clone's doing this much work without triggering the effect of a Breath of the Dying, because Doll slaps. Ah, there it goes. Clone? Okay, he just decided to stop attacking. Sundal took care of that. Alright, more guns. So, like, this did more damage than I thought it would. I might mess around with Septimator, like, actually shooting on a build. Maybe. Better than I expected. Serial Killer worked out to be fine. Let's put in different guns. Okay, well, what else do I have tabs for? Clone's gonna kill himself with an iceberger. But we could still try it. Oh yeah, we're gonna try Flacker. I don't know how he would do with Contained Blast, because he's not gonna manually detonate it. So it would just always be very delayed. Lead Sprinkler. You only get the gimmick if he crits. That's the problem there. Digby's Smooth Tube. I don't have the mod on that fixes that gun. I suppose I could try a Torrent. I have a feeling it'll just work out to be Discount Sandhawk, but... You want to get that Pestilence Amara save? Do the thing. Are you going to push with it, CZ? As it currently holds both takedown true times, and there's time save on both of them. Contain Blast goaded. How do you think it'll work out with AI shooting it, Mr. Sean? Because I know the gun's good. But I'm just unsure if AI will use it properly. See how the build feels, do some attempts. Ooh, you'll get it fast. You'll get it real fast. Okay, so we got a Torrent. What else do I have open tab-wise? Fuck it, I'll grab the Iceberger. It's like it's gonna be sesame chicken for breakfast. Wish me luck today. The Alka-Seltz are handy. Sesame chicken sounds delicious. Yes, I'm actually picking up Iridium because I don't have much on this save. Should work well. Okay, I'll try Contained Blast in the next run. Sushi and tacos, but not sushi tacos. Why not? Sushi pizza's a thing. Sushi burger is a thing. Actually had sushi burger. recently. It's fantastic. Alright, I guess let's start with the icebreaker. How does this thing even... It's a sustained weapon, so I don't know how Clone's gonna do. Yeah, that's kind of what I was afraid of. He just doesn't hold the trigger down. It looks hilarious. Sushi burrito once and it was less than impressive. Oh, that's unfortunate. Like, it works, but I have a feeling this isn't the gun doing the work, it's just Clone being good. He says as he starts shooting it on the non-gun build and getting kills because Zane. This thing's kind of heat. Like, look at this. I'm killing. This is a Hyperion shotgun. I gotta use this on flak. Forgot this gun exists. I did too. Then our crash hotfix is allowed with speedrunning. Yeah. That one is a-okay. Because it doesn't modify gameplay in any way other than keeping your game open. Have to show in some manner? No, don't worry about it. Just make sure you don't have anything gameplay affecting on. You and your hyper shotties. Yeah. Sentinel, kill something. Okay, there we go. Let's give Clone a torrent now. That's pretty much what I thought it would do. I wonder how the projectile trajectory of the torrent complements Clone. Because, like, it's a spiral. So I wonder how good the crit consistency is. He's out there killing. Sentinel's helping, but... That's not the correct gun. How do you do here? why the damage stopped, because it bugged out and took the other gun. Yeah, not fantastic mobbing. Pretty, inefficient. Sentinel still here? Did it bug out? I think it's still here. Yeah, I'm not feeling Torrent. I'm not feeling Torrent. Let's reset. Iceberger exceeded expectations. Let's get that Contained Blast. What element are we thinking on this? Corrosive so we can boss with it? Sure. At RE4 treat the other day, you said 9 out of 10 banger. 9.5 out of 10. Only reason I'm giving it the 0.5 is because, I found some of the, I guess you could call them puzzles, a little counterintuitive. But that's like a purely subjective thing. In terms of gameplay, replayability, narrative, like it's a fucking amazing game. RE4 is different, chat. It is different. That's not the right annoyance. You know, it doesn't actually matter. So, sure. So put that there. It's my rocket jumping gun. I don't give any game a 10. No game is perfect, even my favorites. I will give certain games a 10. Hades gets a 10. There is literally nothing they could do to improve Hades other than making more of it. So, like, Hades is a 10 out of 10 game. I can't immediately think of any other game I'd give a 10 out of 10. But that's just my opinion. Oh yeah, Hydrofrost was one. Yeah, I could get away with giving Clone a ×5 because ammo's not a concern. What can I drop here? Still kind of real into how much I enjoyed RE4R and how well it was adapted. They managed to take one of the best received games of all time, not just one of the best received Resident Evil games, just one of the most warmly regarded games ever released, and they made a better version. They just made it better. It's crazy. We get Mercenaries as free DLC next month. Hopefully they do a separate ways announcement at some point. We're eating great. Yeah, that upload was a while ago, CZ. Was really good. Enjoyed the playthrough from a watcher point of view. I'm on my 4th playthrough, Dex. Like, I'm grinding out all the challenges and achievements and doing meme runs. It's just good. It's just good. It's just Nightflyer, and Quack tells me it'll never work. Nightflyer is cool. I want to do some Nightflyer stuff. Soaring characters much more fleshed out. Oh, yeah. Yeah, they updated some things that, let's say, did not age well. Contain Blast looks so cool. And they just made the story more cohesive, made the characters more likable. Just got to the castle in my first playthrough, absolutely loving it, taking my time with it as much as possible. Yeah, I highly recommend you continue to do so. You only get one first playthrough. So it takes 10 seconds for Contain Blast to detonate. Definitely not a gun you give clone and mobbing. I can't think of a situation where you'd give it to clone and bossing either, just because it takes so long. Like, it'll eventually be good damage. I mean, I guess one situation where it would be good is on the split for Wotan. Because clone will apply the stickies while it's immune, and then they'll go off 10 seconds later. So, yeah. We'll try it out there. In the meantime, you can Hydrofrost things. I think he's having trouble hitting. Well, this kind of turned into a give clone DLC 2 weapon stream. Contain Blast is from which DLC? Is it 3? It is 3, okay. So it's not just that. But yeah, a lot of DLC 2 guns. DLC 2 has a lot of bangers. Keep trying to dash, this is gonna be hard. Lay down, being ill, and customer support work is definitely a bad combo. Yeah, please get as much rest as you can, Sora. Hopefully you can take care of yourself. Why are you shooting that way, clone? What are you doing? Also, why are you in the ground? I think Hydrofrost is having some range issues. gonna be honest. I also have range issues. Damn. Oh yeah, if you didn't know, you could stand in this windowsill and spark plug, and it hits the spawns up top sooner. Doesn't hit that one very well, but... Toxic gameplay. Okay, here's the problem. Hydro Frost versus Frost Heavy. Yeah, Hydro Frost's not doing as well as I hoped it would. Kinda sad. I like the gun thematically. Oh, that's a clone bug. Yay! The save. What is this? This no PPU? Serial killer. It's no PPU. Yeah, no PPU just better. I think the situation where serial killer would be preferable to no PPU is if you gave clone a wish. Because for the serial killer, that is just double your DPS. Clone will die fairly often, but I don't think that's necessarily a problem. You could just place him down again, because Zane has stupid amounts of cooldown. That's another thing that gets downplayed by the Zane player base. Like, the amount of raw cooldown this guy has is nutty. Base Digiclone cooldown, 28 seconds. Blowing up with Doppelbanger gives you a partial duration refund, I believe. Adrenaline might seem like shit cooldown on paper, but guess what? It's better than Amara's singular cooldown skill. You have Calm Cool Collected if you're that far in for instant cooldown refresh. You have Commitment for 60% before kill skill boosts. And then you have Sheer Will, which, now the bottom number, the 2.5% after crit, that doesn't work on Mantis, but it works on every other action skill. And yeah, you can have a lot of cooldown from this. Hey Swin, how are you? If you have Clone a Wish, he'll wish to be a real boy. Alright, we'll give Clone Contain Blast for this one. Sora's hype, good, how about you? Tired, but okay. We just gotta wait for the Contain Blast to detonate. Didn't really happen. Oh, there it goes. hit it at all, clone? I don't think he did. Yeah, he's struggling. He's struggling. When his burst damage in the burst is underwhelming. Yeah, so like this is a good gun. It's just a good situation, a good example of a situation where a gun is not compatible with a certain aspect of a character. That's all. It was a good test. What else can we give Clone? I'm trying to think DLC 3 and 4 guns, because a lot of those are slept on. Let's look. Let's go weapons. Content. Let's go. Actually, let's just go the first 4 DLCs. Might be decent with a blind sage, honestly. Chandelier sucks. Cheap tips. That base damage sucks. Yeah, definitely not Chandelier. How the crabs do? You won't use the alt fire, so you'll have to deal with a much slower fire rate. And at that point, it's just like an inconsistent herald. Frequency? Maybe frequency. Yeah. Frequency is a good idea. Carrier? You know, I'll open a tab for it. I'll open a tab for it. Dakota, maybe. I've never tried Dakota clone. Yeah, we'll try Dakota, frequency. What does Frozen Devil even do again? I forgot. Open a tab for Mutant. To laugh at it. License. I really want the license to not be terrible. It's just, it never got a buff. Never got a buff. Clone won't reload to get the Blancs gimmick. The Blanc is a fun gimmick. I need to mess around with that gun on Flak a little bit. Or probably on a character that has mode swap speed. Mose or Amara. Spade kind of sucks. Kaleidoscope. Don't you have to ADS for the Kaleidoscope? Think about the satisfaction. Because like post buff, satisfaction does do good damage. Let's grab a satisfaction. the wrong thing. Okay, there we go. We'll have extremely niche conditions to get a gun. Frozen Devil have like an ice spike in the alt fire. Yeah, it's something like that. I gotta take a look at it. Alright, corrosive. Let's go Terra Cryo. That'll be our satisfaction roll. What's Frozen Devil do? So primary fire is a continuous laser beam, which means Clone's not going to be good with it. That base damage is also terrible. Yeah, alt fire is an ice spike. You can charge up. Frozen Devil's an SMG pistol. Enemies frozen with the laser beam take 720% more crit damage with the ice spike. So, does freezing an enemy with Arm and Flint with the Frozen Devil count towards the alt fire? I guess I'll keep that open to test another time. I love how the description of the mutant on Loot Lemon. Look at this shit. Shoots a continuous laser beam with unreliable accuracy. Oof. That's so toxic. Yeah, let's try a license. I mean, they're not wrong. Yeah, it's just... When the information database is like, hey, it sucks. You know? Just, it raises questions. Alright, yeah, so license maybe with a wish could be okay. What element are we thinking of this thing? Let's cryo for some mobbing. Let's try that for now. What was the gun I forgot about? Carrier. Alright, we'll do that next wave. So, Hydra Frost was a bust. Let's try the next two. Satisfaction. And no, I fucked something about that up. What did I mess up? Ah, wrong annoying. Cheating. Yeah, we'll go satisfaction and license. See how it does with Revolter. Can Clone fire the lending since he technically has no money, or does it still come out of the player's wallet? That's a good question. I've never tried that. Lending is another gun people forget about. Unreliable accuracy was my nickname in high school. Yo, mine too. Actually, while we're here, and I have Loot Lemon open in a tab, like, content base game, there's no filter for Deady only. Alright, that's fine. We'll filter by legendary. So, I'll just point them all out one by one. 9-volt. Deady only item. No one ever talks about it. Freeman. Deady only item. No one ever talks about it. Explosion. Deady only item. Only gets talked about because Jacobs. Hive. Deady only item. Obviously, most people know about the Hive. Link. Deady only item. Well, legitimately good now that it can be anointed. It's like a discount multi-tap, but it's still good. Master or crossbow. No one talks about it. It's good. Mind killer. Sucks ass. So that one's valid. Mongol. Extremely good. No one talks about it. Deady only. Night Flyer. It's a gimmick. But maybe I can make some meme shit with it. One pump chump. Sucks. So, but it still gets talked about because it's Jacobs. People have that bias. Nimble Jack. Gets used in the speedrun. Sucks at endgame. Occultist. Used to be a guaranteed drop from Troy at launch of the game, and then they turned that off and then never buffed the item ever. So it sucks. Feebert never got buffed, so it sucks. Lending meme gun that also never got buffed, so it sucks. Psycho Stabber, people know about that one. Quatomizer never got buffed, so it sucks. And also, it's the Rampager's attacks and no longer comes from the Rampager. Rhina is only from loot enemies. I don't know if people really know about that one, but it's good. Redline is very good. No one talks about that. Scorpio is good. Underrated. One of the higher DPS pistols for shooty. Skexel, I forgot about it myself. Smart gun, I forgot about it, but it's got a good chuck. TNTina, I've never actually used. Relatively recent addition to the game, though, so. Horizon, one of the very few singularities that's actually good in this game. Garcia, literally better DPS than a Hellwalker, if you're flak. Tsunami, forgot about that gun. TNTina's disappoint, Sag. Creeping Death, yeah, we don't talk about the Creeping Death. we don't talk about that one. And Westergun in the early days of the game was desirable because it's a splash gun that is very easy to farm and has no charge up time. Yeah, there's a lot of Deady only items in this game that, you know, people don't acknowledge. Bosks, it's an M4, and you know, it's probably the weakest of the M4s. It's just kind of fine. Never forget the Lending's my first legendary. Pretty important to story speedrunners, right? Westergun. Westergun's one of a couple items that they changed the loot source of, but it's hard-coded to still come from the other enemy. Wow, you don't shoot this thing often, do you, clone? So yeah, Westergun... What's the current source of the Westergun? Yeah, it's King Nasher, but they hard-coded it to come from private beans. So like they changed it, but it's still beans as well. And beans is like a 50% chance or higher. Alright, this is one of those guns like the Nighthawk where you need to pull the trigger a lot. Then it does no damage. Look at that. Yikes. This gun used to be so good way back in the day. We are not in those days anymore. That was so bad. Ugh. Alright, hang on. We gotta replace this one immediately. That was depressing. Here, while we're being depressed, let's grab that carrier. I'm not even gonna put an anoint on it because, yeah, it doesn't matter really. Got my not like this ready. Alright, control. I believe. I believe in carrier supremacy. I mean, it could be worse. The bullets are kind of slow. But it's not as bad as the previous gun. Like, he's killing. Kind of. I expected less. Yeah, same, to be honest. Like, he's able to kill with it. Not really very well at range, but how do you do up close? Yeah. Not the worst. Wouldn't consider it good, but if you were gearing up a Zane build, giving Clone a carrier wouldn't be the worst thing you could do for him. What else we got? Closing that mutant tab. Lol. Frequency. Frequency. So times 12 is max paper DPS, I guess. Primary cryo, secondary rad, I guess. Like, clones only can use the primary, but sent me a beast. Thank you, Super. Please be good. I got the frequency able to, like, do work on flak. It's just an ammo hog, and you need to never go down, ever. Closer. Oh, he's shooting a cryo-immune enemy. Hang on, that's not his fault. It's like the damage is fine, but he's stupid. Yeah, the problem isn't the damage, it's just that Clone is too stupid to stack it up and then target the right enemy. We'll see how it does in the Valks fight. Iceberg any good nowadays? Yeah, it is. I need to try it out on flak, actually. Tried it out a bit earlier, and it did better than expected. Iceberger was actually, like, decent, despite Clone not really knowing how to shoot it. And it even did damage in my hands on this non-gun build. Now, granted, I'm Zane, but... Alright, just get the kills. Oh, there you go, you got one. Put Sentinel on that so it doesn't steal any thunder. The stagger on that is significant. So it's not really stacked up right now. Might get some kills. Oh, he blew himself up. Yeah, the issue with frequency is Clone's just not smart enough. I guess I aiming for a Valk skip muscle memory. Yeah. it happens. It happens. Alright, what else we got? A Dakota. Dakota. That could be good. Now, no ricochet, but multiple element, because the amp shots will be fire or shock. The amp shots count as splash. So this should, in theory, be pretty good. There was 85 mil on a crit with the shock one. It's killing. It's not, like, destroying. I think that's just because he's not shooting it very fast. Like, we can shoot it like this. Clone will not shoot it like that. It's okay. Kinda hope for more. Too much speed. Off to Amara Slaughter Shop runs. Best of luck. I was trying to go down so I can hold you, but I keep accidentally second winding. I guess I'll just doppelbanger though. Yeah, this is clear without clone. Sparkplug is goated, and Sentinel is extremely underrated. I guess the Dakota will suck against armor, huh? I do have Sentinel for that, though. Y'all gonna come out? himself. Forgot Dakota existed. Seems to be a common theme with a lot of these. Old Radiant and Stone Thrower are viable. Formerly, in both cases. Old Radiant has a better stat profile than most Hyperion SMGs, still. But that's about all it's got going for it. Stone Thrower... When are you gonna shoot at the boss? Oh, you're doing it. That didn't go great. Yeah, Satisfaction might be another one where he just doesn't shoot it fast enough. Yeah, just not enough instances of damage. When he does shoot it, it's good. Yeah, that's not a bad chunk. Just he doesn't shoot it often enough. Maybe with an amp shield, that'd be good. Hey, Gage. Maybe with an amp shield, that'd be good. Well, those are busts for now. What else is on the list? He wouldn't trigger the Storos Burn's effect. Would he be okay with Unseen Threat? Forgot about the short stick. Totally forgot about that gun. Yeah, you wanted it to roll non-Ellie. Old Radiant was DLC 2. Try Tsunami? No, how's Tsunami's base damage? $12K. It's a charge up. Kind of skeptical because it's a charge up, but we'll try it. We'll try it. Thinking about Unseen Threat, but like it's an on-crit effect, so maybe not. See if Clone can handle a flacker. A basic version. Mostly curious if he'll live or not. Doesn't reload to get the bright side gimmick. Right. Clone doesn't get anything that requires reloading, because he doesn't reload. He has a reload animation, but it doesn't trigger anything that happens on reloading. So, like, he won't be able to get Lucky 7 modifiers, for example. He can't TD or chuck. Nothing like that. A lovable rogue. What's that do again? Stomach is gurgling. It'd have the same issue as Contain Blast. The damage would just be too delayed. Because he won't reload manually, so it would have to be a full 10 seconds for the stickies to explode. At that point, why give him that? TK's wave? Theoretically, that'd be a lot of damage. Just park him right up in something's face with the TKs. Yeah. I mean, he's shooting it better than I thought he would. Like, it's not awful. Genuinely, it's not awful. How does the tsunami work? Let's put that out. Occasionally shoots alternating diagonal rows of shotgun cross projectiles to ricochet once. How does Wish affect a tsunami? Carrier tier, it seems. That's a good way of putting it. I want to see how he does with Wish. Like, that's not bad. The thing with the Wish and a fast-firing weapon like this is you need to clone swap very frequently to heal him from the burn. I'll let him die real quick and then show you a better use of that tech. One second. Make calamine lotion for clones? I don't know. They should. How you doing, Tom? So, like, if you just give clone a crit, then it's just like that, but way better. And the lifesteal from the crit being a moxie weapon will keep him alive. Until he hits himself with a light speed. But that happens. Yeah, so just shot the guardian and it'll kill that enemy. What are you gonna do about it? Yeah, clone just took out Kraken with that. You don't really need to even aggressively clone swap as long as he's able to hit enemies. You could also do this with a hail. It's just you need to place him a little more carefully, because it doesn't shoot in a straight line. Hey Viper, just got off work. How was work today? We're messing around with giving clone different guns and shields and stuff. Giving clone a crit and a wish is funny, because the lifesteal from the crit will keep him alive from the wish dot, so he just gets a double projectile crit. Just chilling. Just strong. Warren Day. Hey, sometimes that's good. He does take a while to shoot, though. And no reload meaning snow dropping, bye-bye balance. There's still downsides. Like, it's not a splash gun. So, he's not getting a huge part of the formula that makes Digiclone good. Non-splash weapons that do well in Digiclone are really, like, exceptional items. Let's go back to that, and we'll spawn him again with a flacker. Don't die. Because the flacker will detonate a fixed distance from him, right? So, like, unless that happens, he won't hit himself with it. Wish Clone's flipper spread was tighter. That's a... yeah, that is a sentence. Enjoy your lure, camper. I think Sentinel stole those kills. Like, doesn't seem bad. Maybe I should have a splash anointed gun and be doing that. Pretty cool visual. Yeah, and that's not max damage. That's also a rad one, which is the lowest damage roll in general. Hey Beef, how you doing? Today someone asked me how to boss this flak, and I was just like, yes. Like, what kind of as flak? Flak has more build variety than, like, the rest of the Borderlands franchise. So you're gonna have to narrow it down a bit. Yes is the correct answer to that question. Just in general, yes. Like, with what playstyle? Like, they cannot boss at all? What were they trying to do? Gorillas in the Mist? Ah, Gorillas in the Mist is not straightforward in terms of how you get actually good damage out of it. So it's honestly one of the harder things to play on flak. So maybe that's why. Hey, Perak, how you doing? Good to see you. How goes things? Generally prefer 3-shot. What's the difference? Gorillas in the Mist delays your damage to give you burst damage with weapons that fit a certain profile of stats. Like, weapons that you're gonna dump magazines in just a couple seconds are gonna benefit more from gorillas. But you have to make sure you structure your anointments and other things so that you actually get your damage. Because what happens too often is, also it works very well with Stackbot. That's a huge piece of the puzzle. What happens all too often is people run Gorillas in the Mist, they don't run a Stackbot, and then they run ASE Anoints, which means they don't have damage. Because all they're doing is delaying the activation of the thing that gives them damage while giving up an augment slot. So unless you were gearing in very specific ways, there's a full write-up in the Flak builds document, exclamation point builds, Gorillas in the Mist just is not worth it. Because you need to have certain things going on. Slowly forward, having one of those days. Yeah, I feel you. Staying hydrated. Yeah, doing my best. Flacker seems like it could be decent for certain proving grounds on clone, honestly. Like, you need to position very carefully, though. That's the big problem. Like, maybe it's fine here. Yeah, like this situation works, because you can just hit them all in the back. I'd probably want to give him an amp shield, though. Yeah, I'd probably want to give him an amp shield. It's interesting enough that I think I'll keep that one in my inventory. That goes in the tier of Iceberger where it's like, huh, I could probably make something interesting happen with that. Yeah, that's cool. Back to the normal weapons. It's so spoiled by Fade Away and From the Shadows, forgot you have to actually aim for crits and Deception. Well, you're still rewarded for aiming for crits in Fade Away. From the Shadows is definitely the easy mode one. And now you guys will see why Sandhawk is just the clone weapon for bossing. Like Sandhawk, Backburner, Ember's Purge, Anarchy are the heavy hitters. Yeah, damn near killed it. Sentinel's being slow. That's a good spread of weapons, but I should honestly have him with a shock one of some kind. Give him that. Hey, Arctic Ninja. 4 new games. Ori in the Blind Forest, Ori Will o' the Wisp, Sunset Overdrive, Opus and the Echo, Star Song. I've heard of 3 of those. Cool games. This guy's cloning iceberg lettuce. Yes. Sunset Overdrive went hard. True. True. I forgot the Gatling gun existed. In my defense, it is one of the most forgettable weapons in the game. Because it's just kind of a gun. Started RE7 yesterday. I have not want to play horrors. RE7 is a genuine horror game. Like, Village and RE4 are more actiony with horror segments. But RE7 is a true horror game. So yeah, you definitely picked the scariest place to start. Not being good at them is pretty ironic considering my job. Definitely keeps things spicy. Okay, so that was some interesting Zane science. I need to try Iceberger on Flak. I need to try Septimator on some character that isn't Zane. Walked away with some interesting info here. Now we suffer. Played it, loved it, watched someone playing 2 several times. So yeah, in comparison, it's Monka. Conference call interesting on clone? It's okay. Suffer? How about we don't suffer? How about we do? How about we do? Which one? This one. Oh shit, here we go again. Shot actually went where I wanted it to. Hog champion. That's what the kids say, right? Well, accidentally fished myself. So, for once, this reset wasn't the takedown's fault. That was actually just my fault. I'll take it. That is a reset I'm okay with. Shouldn't have thrown that fish. Ugh. like the disruptor experiment's been banned. It's just having the kick charger available for other things and then having the nukem available is just like nice. Weapon slot 2 is still up in the air. I definitely need the kick charger. It's more efficient to just use the kick charger for the turret guys because I'm already using it for Valk skips. Like, this slot is still of questionable value. I can use the nukem to deal with some barrels, which I should be doing more of. But it's up in the air what I'm even using that slot for. Your racks out? I'll just do that. Jetpack guys were aggressive this time, and my racks were not. And I got cryoed. Yeah, let's run that back. Way too slow. Down myself with the anarchy throw reload right as I've thrown it. Oof. Honestly, something I've thought about for running anarchy on Amara super is just going like full commit to rad, same way I did with the pestilence and red suit, just no bonus elements or anything, because then you're just safe from it. And if you run clear the mine, then you don't get the downsides of rad, just the upsides. Why am I cryoed? Why am I still cryoed? That was like 15 seconds of cryo. Yeah, I need to practice this. My muscle memory for this is off today. You'd think cryo would make flag CPU run faster. I need to not rush that second shot. Since I had bad movement there, I was curious about what would happen if I rushed that. I can rush the third shot, but not before that. I fished myself. That'd be cool if actual liquid cooling. That would be cool. Shot too slow. This is what practice is for. Seriously, why are they cryo every run today? That's RNG. They don't always have cryo weapons. They just do if your game is Quag. Bad aim. The game knows. It's not like it matters until I lock in that. I'm shooting slightly too high every time. What a cold welcoming. Sarah asks you to slow down. Well, that was awkward. Accidental slide boost and there were no enemies on that side. Got really unlucky with my racks not cooperating there. I love cryo. Enemies with cryo weapons are traffic cops. Need a radar detector. Miss. I didn't hit the barrels. Unfortunate. Also didn't hit the guys back there. Crack, go through there. Go through there. Which eventually happened. Alright, so hang on. Before I reset. Gotta go higher on that one. The idea is to use the nukem to pop those barrels so that there's 0% chance of them causing a problem. Again, it's not something I need to do, but if I have the nukem equipped, I may as well take advantage in a way that doesn't cost me time. This fucking guy. I knew it was that one too. Let's try that again. Let's try that again. Kick charger moment. Gun reminding me why I think it's a piece of shit. Yep. That one was aim punch. Can't even blame the gun. I'd like to get an attempt past Valkyries, but this is where warm-ups are important, because it helps you get consistency through massive amounts of tilt. Took out the nukem too late, that kind of threw everything off there. Oh, cryo's cool, I guess. On the run where I don't deal with the barrel. Yeah, that seems right. Seems like something that would happen. I need to practice this shot anyway, so. I hit it that time. Hollow point kill. Yeah, it's nice to have backups. That's why Kick Charger retains a weapon slot on this speedrunning version of Rackstab, despite me absolutely loathing the weapon with every fiber of my being. It's just too useful. Couldn't dodge my fish because I was cryoed. I'm having a great time. You guys having a great time? I'm having a great time. Guess what time it is? It's time to get the rack bug while being cryoed. Certainly a day. New Zanin said, maybe for Slaughter Star. I feel you. This is an abysmal pace, but I need to practice the full run, so we'll play this out. This is gonna be horrible. Just, ugh. It was a good Valkyries. Just everything before it wasn't. Really? Why is this annoying not on? Too high. Okay. Just making triply sure. Using like butter weapons at the bottom of the screen. Critical position, it feels so bad. What do you mean weapons at the bottom of the screen? I run the standard thing in the middle. Like, I don't know what you mean. Butters weapons more at the bottom of the screen. There's an option for that. This? Switching to lowered? Yeah, I can't play like that. It looks very weird. Change is bad. I run centered. Now, sure, most of my screen is covered by a gun this way, but it's what I'm used to. So that time would have worked out to, if I hadn't stopped the timer, that would have been like a 420. Blaze it. which is way slower than what I need. What am I doing on vault card chests? I've been doing so much speedrunning that I definitely have chests on all of these. I'm super close on this one. Don't have any chests on Welcome to Pandora. I should probably run on that for a while. Yeah, I have 23 on Fallen Heroes. I think that's where I did all the GTD grinding. So I'll get the next chest on Bunker Masters and go to Fallen Heroes. Oh, we're on PP%, I just realized. Shit. Of course I realized after I hit the button. And then that missed kick charger. Why are you trash? Why are you the worst weapon in the history of Borderlands? I hate you and everything you've ever done. Remember having to fiddle with a lot of settings on PS4, which is not normally something you feel the need to do with console. Yeah, another of the things you need to fiddle with is there's not enough keybinds. You need to give up 1 to 2 functions, which is frustrating. But yeah, I'll be RB. Alright, me back. Took a second to swap my laundry as well. I might go see John Wick this week. Let's make sure I have clothes to wear instead of my, lays about the house wardrobe. Aim punch. call them people clothes. Ah. I got a couple oversized t-shirts, old hoodies, very loose sweatpants. You know, the around the house stuff. I rushed to the second shot. Didn't I say, like, 15 minutes ago I need to not do that? I have to get dressed at least 6 days a week at the moment, and I hate it. Oof. I only have to dress for the waist up, and it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Why did that... I was literally sliding. Hate this gun. How the work from home attire. You know, you just either change clothes or change your... How did you cryo me? I'm behind you. Memes. I'm getting memed so hard today. How am I cryoed again? Who did it? Who did it? Oh, that should have been farther away. Oh, I'm intelligent. And you're a fire heavy. Excellent RNG game. Thank you. Thank you for that. I should really just save myself time and reset, but... more practice. Yeah, better boxes could have made this a better run, but oh well. stop doing that. Shove myself in the anarchy again, bro. I'm just gonna run something else. It's one of those days. The game is cursed today, Super. It's just cursed. I've lost faith in the adult movie industry if there's not a Jock Wick. Beeping in my hearing right now. Cat, do you beep? No. Other cat, do you beep? What is that beeping? I'm crazy. No, it auto-corrects to John Wick. I don't know if that's a thing. Yeah, no, I don't think it's... I heard it again. Where's that coming from? Going out of my fucking mind. Filthy mouth. No excuse. Find a new place. Okay, now that song's stuck in my head. My brain doesn't work very well today, chat. I am all over the place. Mr. Beeps usually made a smoke detector batteries out. Yeah, I'll have to check. There's one, like, right outside my door. Could be that, although it doesn't sound like it's coming from there. All over the place on Dex. Hi, Dex. Why are you a fire heavy? That would have been so good. See how I didn't get Peregrine? That would have been so good. Because, like, I'm still on pace now after losing that time. Pain. I just need to be less picky and just run. Of course I'm cryoed. Of course I'm cryoed. Of course I'm fucking cryoed. All that science is all your speedrunner's bloodthirst. It is hard to switch between build science mode and speedrunner mode, I will say. Did I blow up these? I did. This is slow. Need to practice voting anyway, though, so. How am I cryoed? Who's hitting me? How am I still cryoed? Why are you all flamethrower heavies? Why are you all flamethrower heavies? That was fun. Inside of Quag, there are two wolves. One goes fast, the other's a nerd. Oops, all cryo. I swear these fucking things are heat-seeking. Fire heavy, just want to help the cryo situation. Did I get that vault card level yet? While I was raging at some point? I did. Cool. Switch to that one. Oh no, it just happened. Just now. Good timing, me. Alright, we run it again. Basically, the timeline of events for this to have like a record pace run, I need to be hitting the shot for Valkyries before the 50-second mark. I need to be out of Valkyries before the 120 mark. And then I need to be into the Wotan fight at the latest at the like the cutscene needs to end with 22 seconds for me to get like a reasonable kill. 21 seconds would be a world record Wotan kill. So 23 is like acceptable. So 22 is split the difference. So I need to be in the Wotan fight at 322. So yeah, I got that pseudo daily bounties. It's a good feature. It's a good feature. Why did homie not die? Behind. Why has this suddenly started happening? Where Hilder's just like, yeah, no, fuck you. Remember, it's cool. Also, buggy when it first came out. Some would be impossible to do. Others already be done when the day started. Yeah, a lot of it was them flagging certain enemies incorrectly, which is something they've done before, like having enemies be the wrong species. So like they'd have Raid bosses not tagged as raid bosses. I don't know if it helps, but I heard cries stored in the O. That's true. That's true. Did you learn that from amarabuilds.com? No cryo for once. We have a run. Also in there that flat bad. That's true. Did they teach about Flakica? Come on. The one rack. The one rack to rule them all. It hit very late, but it hit. That's just unfortunate. That would have been a good one, but I played like shit. That was actually on me. See, this is part of what frustrates me about Malawan. You get so many bullshit attempts, just so many things that go wrong due to things mostly out of your control, that when you finally get a good run, and you're like me and you're inconsistent as hell and you fuck up, it's devastating to morale. Flakicabuilds.io. Stop it. Just fuck off. Fuck off. I miss Guardian takedown. People tell me to speedrun. Let me present Exhibit A. Speedrunning Guardian takedown is totally different. Speedrunning Malawan takedown is frustrating as shit. It's certain categories. Some people love certain categories, some people hate certain categories. I hate Malawan takedown as a category. So we're just gonna do some Guardian takedown. Kind of solves the whole thing. This wasn't planned to be a full-length stream, so I won't make you guys suffer through this for too long. Say no to suffering. You did tell me. You know who holds quiet and calls in the morning after? GTD. It's true. Look at all this open space. No barrels. No enemies with cryo guns. No bosses suddenly deciding to keep attacking while being immune. Now, Scourge can do that, but he doesn't often do that. Quag is Rax and his fish, chilling. MGD giving Quag the cold shoulder. I hate you. Guardians suddenly placed an order for 100 cryo barrels. Why do you gotta do that to me, Tom? Why you gotta give me more trauma? Some good luck appreciated. I played poorly, but that was the slow spawn set anyway, so. Good rack. I thought I cleared those already. I was way ahead of myself. I was a full spawn set ahead physically where I needed to stand. That's acceptable. Get all my flat knowledge from OnlyFlans, a website surprisingly bereft of any info about Mexican custard desserts. I was gonna say, because that dessert sounds delicious right about now. I don't know why I almost missed that, but okay. Rex, you wanna hit that enemy? No? That's okay. I'll reset. It's okay. You tried. Man, now I want some dessert. I haven't even eaten food yet today. I grilled some steaks last night. There's like half of one left over. Maybe I'll have that. Fry up a couple eggs. Put over some rice. Now I'm hungry. Sorry. Went for a long walk today, rewarded myself with bubble tea. Ooh. Craving a burger for like a week, finally had one for lunch. Mediocre burger, craving not satisfied. That's the worst. You really want something, and then it's just... You know it's not a good one. Ugh. I messed up that movement twice over, by the way. I'm so washed. Shouldn't have jumped there. Oh, I'm using the wrong pet. Just realized I have the Scorcher on. I do not have as much movement speed as I'm supposed to. That might affect some things. 4 minutes isn't bad. That rocket jump was terrible, though. Come on, Rax. Thank you. Distressing. Oh. Yeah, that wasn't gonna work anyway. We take out the appropriate pet. It's that one. Reset. Good burger goes kind of hard. Yeah. A mediocre burger's like, I feel gross. But a good burger, ooh. Good burger hits different. Sure, my launchers are loaded. My movement speed's correct now. This feels better. Yeah, I was running with Scorcher for MTD to iron out some of the inconsistency issues with the turret guys. But move speed from the Jabber feels so nice. And I missed it without realizing. Annoying. Too slow. I don't know why all of those enemies were just the little guys. Like, I one-shot Manticore is easier because of the favorable elemental matchup on the fish. And bad movement twice over. I should save, but too many loot beams on the ground. Game too rewarding. Could go back to Frozen Heart stuff, but that has caused me problems. No, bad movement. Immediate reset. I just want to get one good run in, you know? Just one good run. Love when my racks fail to target the only enemy in the room. Where's the last one? You know what? Play it out. Hard to reset in this room. Hey Voodoo, how's it going? Ugh, rough runs today. A lot of bullshit in Malawan. I rage quit to GTD, but unfortunately I'm too tilted and unfocused to be good at it. But I figure I'd do a couple runs anyway. I think they'll stick with the Wonderlands formula of everyone being able to grenade spell and fuck their life. I don't know. I hope so. That was a good feature. Also does a lot to help dissuade people of the notion that you can only use guns in these games. That idea needs to fucking die. Mm, 10 seconds spawn. Everyone's been frustrating. Quack Science portion was great. Yeah, that was fun. That was definitely fun. Enjoyed messing around with digiclone weapons. Got a couple ideas for guns to mess around with in actual gun builds. I like doing both. A little bit of science, a little bit of speedrunning. Grenade puts you in fight for life, grenade gets you out. Mm-hmm. Who's in here? Whom stuff? Gross. Yeah, maybe I just play this one out to get some Scourge attempts in, because this is abysmal. hit that properly. That was close enough. Almost blew myself up. Thank you, Fight for Your Life immunity. I'm playing so sloppy. Ugh. Not proud of it. Got angry today too. Had a few times 6 seconds advantage after room 2 of Zane Instinct. Losing in room 3 and due to impossible sliding after a fallen boss room. Ugh. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know like the good line to take movement-wise in the boss room in Instinct, because like there's that one spot where you're like, hey, I'd like to slide, and the game's just like, no. It's like a whole strip of the room where you just can't. Apparently I missed a lot. Gotta follow your instincts. Boo. Yeah, this is awful. What kind of time is this? What kind of Walmart GTG speedrun is this? I'm exaggerating, but it's very behind what I personally have done and am capable of. I'll read that when I have more time. Viper, too many words for right now. Forgot to free throw fish down there. Excuse me, please stop. Stop dodging me, bro. Room 3 of Instinct is brutal for fish. I believe it. Spending the correct 2 holidays, April 21st and April 24th, 6-week streak, only ever working 4-day work weeks. Let's go. Huge W. My pet despawn? Oh, there it is. Cool. Work doesn't give us paid holiday from January 1st to late May. That seems fucked, yeah. Kind of stopped sweating, so I'm just taking safer lines and not holding the MP5 as much as I could. This is about 30 seconds behind, so not a competitive run at all. I can time the Scourge fight though. At least that room was somewhat clean. Should clarify, in case it's unclear, use my accrued vacation days, just no government holidays. Yeah, that still doesn't seem in line with reason. Just put it that way. Alright, it's a Scourge fight. I suppose I equip a Corrosive Stinger. This is fine, I guess. I have the wrong GA on. That's why my damage felt weird. I've been using the wrong GA the whole time, because I forgot I changed it back for Wotan. I'll just stick with it this way. That I know it's optimal for this fight, so like. I think I got the timer 1 second early, but we'll see how that affects things. No way, bro. Well, no pet. poorly very quickly. And we got that many diadems. Ugh. Shouldn't layer two diadem explosions like that on top of each other. Wastes frames. I almost slid off the edge in a way I've never done before. Hyperfocus ever good? Yeah, the XC41 was good. Before the 2.0 update. It was one of the best boss melters in the game at that point in time. I'm bad at video games. Still bad at video games. This was decently close. In fact, I want to try that again. Redistributor is still good. I mean, it's fine. It was never as good as people made it out to be. And it never got weaker since then. It's just comparatively overshadowed by a majority of the game, as it kind of always was. Oh wait, no, I can't do that. I can't rocket jump anymore because I missed the shot anyway, so it doesn't matter. But like, even if I'd hit it, that wouldn't have worked because I went through the whole Scourge fight. Doing the Scourge fight turns off your ability to rocket jump. See? An exceptional Zane? No. When I said it was never as good as people said it was, what I mean is that it was never as good as people said it was. Never exceptional on Zane. It was just good. Keep in mind, Zane players don't know this game's balance at all, because they use a very narrow slice of it. It might seem like a cruel generalization, but it's just the truth. If you're talking about before the ASE projectile bug fix, wasn't a nerf, was a bug fix, it still wasn't competitive with most of the things that outstrip it now. Like, think about the other things that projectile behavior was applying to. The XZ41, for one. All of the call weapons. Jacob's ricochets. Launcher hits. Redistributor has never been anything better than decent. Recursion, yeah. Another myth from that era. People like to say that Amara was the beast with her recursion. It wasn't really better on her than anyone else. It was like, Mose could do more damage with it, Zane could do more damage with it, Flack could do more damage with it. Amara could make it look prettier. But yeah. Early BL3 life, there's a lot of shit takes ingrained in the community by YouTube content. And furthermore, recursion on Amara, think about the logistics of that for a second. You are using a purely multi-target gun on the character that needs no assistance with multi-target and would really like assistance with single target. Think about the logistics of that. Was it better on Amara, though? For how much HP enemies had, it wasn't effectively better, though. Like, you could legitimately just run a regular 3-shot fadeaway build on Flack and do the same exact thing while having it hit harder. You had more bounces on Amara, but it was the recursion. It didn't matter. Like, you didn't need that many to hit. It's like, if enemy's dead on bounce 2, you don't need bounces 30 through 50. Bounces are what made it powerful, though? Yeah. But it's like, for the same reason, something like a Frozen Heart clears better than, I don't know, what's something that hits harder than Frozen Heart? Hammer Down Protocol. Because you can just Frozen Heart from wider ranges while doing other things, and sure, it does less damage, but the thing's still dead. Maybe theoretically better, but in terms of practically better, like, we didn't need damage in the pre 2.0 days. Everything was really good. And if we look at speedrun character clear times, whether that's true or not, Amara was the best with it. I think it's a perspective thing. The best, potentially, not in how anyone used it. Like, from a speedrunning metric, still no. I get where you're getting at, and, like, you obviously know Amara better than I do, but from, like, the active endgame scene at the time, the people saying, oh, Amara, best, recursion, all that, couldn't hold a candle to what any of the other characters were doing clear time-wise. The exception to Mose. No one knew how to Mose back then. Exactly how everyone used on Ricochet Witch, then why did no one put up good times with it? Why did no one beat other characters with it? Hopping subjects. Not talking about speedrunning. Well, speedrunning is one arena where you can quantify power, right? Like, you could go damage number, you could go character synergy, you could go speedrunning. And she was the best with recursion. Best by what metric? Most damage? Most damage. Okay. I can budge on that. You get fewer but bigger hits on other characters, so the enemies could still die faster from other characters shooting it. Like, Mose is gonna kill on an earlier hit than Amara would. Not that that really matters. But, sure. Most potential damage per trigger pull over the entirety of all the bounces. Yeah, I could get down with that. Driver and bonus elements. Yeah. Because each bonus element was an extra projectile set. And then you had like the free ones from Indiscriminate. And then you had the bonus elements on that. You definitely had the most hits. But like, again, moot point when Mose clicks one, short fuse kills the first enemy. Or Flak just hollow points all of them because fade away. Indiscriminate infusion, forceful ASEs next to mags, all getting max driver damage. Yeah, that's a lot. Just theoretically more or practically more. It's one of those things. Comparison with that. Eraser calcs versus short fuse calcs. People understand Eraser better, so they put it higher, despite it not being higher. But in terms of practicality, it's better. Does that make sense? Like, short fuse does more, but Eraser actually does it. That's how I look at this anyway. I was gonna try something else on Scourge, but I forgot. It's more interesting anyway. Skill issue. Get your down patchers out, let's take a trip. It was an interesting time. Like, the bonus projectile behavior was a very centralizing thing, and it wasn't just recursion. There were a bunch of weapons that got a lot of value out of it. And Amara's ability to have more instances did go a long way in some areas, but not every area. Like, Stagecoach on Flak at the time was crazy. Flak having only bonus elements from Annoyance. And Flak was still the fastest clearing character in Malwan. Provided you run some sort of rule set. If you include skips, then yeah, people were bridge skipping on Amara. But in a non-skip environment, Flak cleared fastest. Followed by Zane, who didn't even have CN dead yet at the time. Just launchers and antifreeze. Why did that fish do negative damage? There's a lot of Doom SM4 days. You could make a legitimate argument that the game was better balanced as a whole back then. Okay, and all the diadems went AWOL. Now let me reset this. This was not a good attempt. Let me get rid of the counter heading as well, because I'm doing Scourge category. Like, you can respawn Scourge if you die before the fight ends. And you have to go through the second half of the takedown again. Like, you have to do crystals too every time. If you time a death, then yeah, he'll drop his loot and you can kill him again. Does this give me enough speed? not if I don't slide, it doesn't. I'm gonna like this. Oh. Hate it. We're good. We're chilling. But yeah, back to that that earlier conversation topic. This is one of the many reasons why I think the word best should just not be in the community's vernacular for comparing things. Because it gets contentious and, like, nobody has the same definition. And you can always come up with a situation where something isn't, quote-unquote, best. Unfortunately, because of how content creation works, every single new player that is introduced through some sort of YouTube content or Twitch content is programmed to seek out the word best. For, like, every game ever. It's happened a lot with RE4, even. One of the most common questions I've been seeing while hanging about in Twitch chats is people going, "What's the best pistol?" They're all good, and they all do different things in that game. Like, one of them pierces enemies, one of them just has good damage, another one is small, so it takes up a little bit of inventory space, and just has a good fire rate, and then the other one has the highest crit chance, and is good for just stunning enemies. They all do different things, and then another one is just a bullet hose. So, like, how do you quantify best? Like, what do you need it for? This isn't just a Borderlands thing, it's just extremely visible in Borderlands. Because every single item works differently from each other. Not every, but most. Watch reviewers said they're still upgrading using the starter pistol at the end and held up fine. It's looking like for the, hey Gio, for the professional speedrun. Why did I go to this one? No, because I did them out of order. Muscle memory. It's looking like for the professional speedrun. Starter pistol is like the way. Starter pistol, bolt action rifle, TMP, riot gun. With rocket launchers on Verdugo and Sadler. In some cases where things are badly balanced, I can see a best worst being thing. It always seems like people are trying to mindless broken OP, shut my brain off answer. It's not even just that simple, Dex, because there's, like, it can bleed over into dialogue between people who know what they're talking about with game mechanics, because metrics are different. Like, I tend to filter what I consider strong as, does it have some sort of area in the game where it is dominant in an endgame speedrunning setting? That is where I will most frequently call things better or worse. Or how effectively and practically does it kill a target in a given time frame. That gets messy. That gets messy. Here, let me use another visual example. So comparing these two fish, the first fish hits way, way harder. The second one can deliver more damage because it'll bounce and hit again. And that's more static charge chains, that's more groundbreaker deliveries, that's more instances of the fish hitting itself. And, you know, like, it's more damage, but it's not more damage. Because time. So, like, this is more damage despite it not being more damage. Warframe has a lot of when you specifically define a scenario, there's a best or at least a few tied bests, so it makes a weird environment. That's true in a lot of places. Could not rocket that tiny fuckface. The Salazar fight's so much better in the remake than the original. Casually comparing Fish Grenade to Fish Grenade. Well, Fish Slap is the only thing that's comparable to Fish Slap, so... holds up. Incorrect? No, Bloodstar Beast does not count, Viper. Those are some unfortunate stragglers. Who must have lived? I needed to wait for an extra fish bounce. That ended up being as bad as the last run, somehow. Mia. Ugh. Need some overkill. I static charged off myself. And it hollow pointed and phased Scourge. That's fun. Slow room. Can I just hollow point the diadem? No. Okay. Yeah, this will be like a 310, 311, something like that. Oh no, slower. You know, like a 320, gross. How long exactly is his death animation? Like once he starts going down into the hole? $11 seconds. Yeah, I just need to be 12 seconds faster than that. Cat, can you stop? Counted. Trying to decide if I wanted another run or not. I think I might be tapped out on energy for the day. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thank you for the support, for the discussion, etc., etc. Once again, I'm just not gonna promise I'll be live tomorrow, just because inconsistent as of late. but that works better for my situation at the moment. Let's see who's live doing things. Lazy's on Elden Ring. He's making a sniper build in Elden Ring, so that's funny. We'll go over there. I don't know what you want, cat. Yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Probably more of this. We'll see how much I get sucked into RE4. Like maybe I do another RE4 stream. Because I've been enjoying that a lot off stream. But I don't know. We'll see. Later.